here we are with this Cancer full moon. So as you can see in the chart here, the full moon is in the sign of Cancer at 13 degrees and the sun is at 13 degrees of Capricorn, exactly opposite from each other. That's what makes it a full moon. And so I want to speak to this energy that we are currently in, what we're going to be moving through this weekend. I want to speak to the Sabian symbol for this sign. I love sharing the Sabian symbols for any new moon, any full moon. You can even do this within your own individual birth chart. You can look at the Sabian symbol for your sun sign, whatever degree it's at, you're just going to round up. And so for this full moon, it was at the 13 degrees, 13 and 1 minute. And so we have 13 to 14 degrees for this Sabian symbol. And what it represents, I just love this because it gives you a deeper meaning. It helps you go deeper into the energy of this particular sign and degree. And so up there, it says very old man facing dark space. And then it says remembering eternal truth as all that passes away proves to have been ephemeral. What remains is the lasting truth. Discovery of universal and eternal truths. So this is the energy that we're in with this full moon that is alive today and this weekend, just kind of going deeper with this message. And again, to go a little bit deeper with this message, it says our circumstances are a gift to enable further self-discovery. And then in this passage here, it talks about something rather beautiful about old people, how they have learned to look at darkness and light with a similar level of detachment. And so now to tie all the knots together, to connect all the dots. So I was recently talking to somebody about this, and this is kind of the essence of this chart right now. We're talking about if you had access to all of the journals of your mother's journal and your grandmother's and your great-grandmother's and your aunts and just everybody that's been down the family line. You know, if you go back in time and look at your ancestors and if we had their journals, if you will, or their diary, to better understand what they went through, you know, to see the emotional hurdles that they had to move through, the, you know, psychological challenges that they had to deal with, literal physical challenges that they had to deal with at that time. You know, if we could just better understand our family line, our ancestry. This is the essence of Cancer, right? Cancer up here, Capricorn down here. Cancer is all about the home, the family, the ancestry, your roots, the family line, the ancestry, your heritage, and understanding the emotional imprint that's been passed down through that. And so hypothetically, if we could all have these journals, you know, and we could see more clearly the things that our family line had to go through, and then to be able to see the connections of what we're currently going through or what we've been, you know, going through throughout our life and kind of working on healing these same things. Like, this is the essence of this full moon. We're all at a place where we've been dealing with a lot. We've had Jupiter, the planet of expansion, and it just blows up and magnifies anything that it touches. It's been like really fucking giving it to Chiron over here. It's 21 degrees. This is 22. It's been a while that this square has been happening. Chiron's been at this point for seemingly ever. It's been like months long, but it's been expanding. Jupiter expands anything that it touches. It's been expanding our primal wounds, expanding wounds that we have, you know, our deepest level of wounds, these core wounds with Chiron that comes from really, you know, previous lifetimes or earlier in this lifetime, but it is something that we're here to work on. Chiron is also the healer, so I don't want to overemphasize that it is a wound, because I think we get stuck there and forget that it's also this like magician, maverick energy that is like very empowered and has the ability to heal themselves and heal others. But either way, this aspect has been happening where Jupiter's been magnifying these things. Jupiter in fucking Cancer, has been magnifying the emotional imprints, magnifying the lessons, magnifying the things that we've been having to deal with, like really blowing it up and putting it in your face so that you can see it more clearly, so that we can really close out some fucking cycles. I know this is like, can sound like astrologers say this all the time, but it's really true. With this full moons are a time of releasing. We are letting go of a lot, and it feels like for a lot of us, we've moved through some really big lessons, some really big cycles this year in regards to our emotional maturation process. That is the energy of Cancer Capricorn. You know, Cancer, the mother energy, our ability to feel, to be intuitive, to go deep within ourselves, and Capricorn, this energy of building, of what is our great work in this lifetime. We must tend to the roots to be able to show up and do the work. That is this archetypal energy, this access here. And so Jupiter's been expanding the shit out of some wounds so that we can see them very clearly and we can work with them. We can heal them. Like, we can actually, it's like literally physically being able to check, to like mark when you've completed a cycle. It's like palatable. Like, we can feel it, we can taste it, that like cycles are literally closing right now. It is a time of closing out of, we're here in the dead of winter, right? It's not the new year, it's the middle of winter, and we are setting intentions and we're planting seeds and we're going inwards. And there's a fuck ton of Capricorn energy here that is great for building, and it's great for really laying this foundation now, you know? So if we're thinking of this time as kind of still closing out the year through December and January and February, there is a lot of energy that is helping us to see what we've healed, what we've completed, what has come to a close, and then helping us release some of this emotional like gook that kind of keeps you from your mission. You know, that is the unhealthy expression of this dynamic here, this Cancer energy that can get really caught in its emotions and memories and things from the past and nostalgia and just wanting to be maybe seemingly safe, right? At home, like hiding away from the world. But the healthiest expression of Cancer, when we really nurture the roots, when we fill ourselves up, when we feel that emotional stability and security, then it then allows us to access the Capricorn energy here, to show up in the world, to do what our great work is. You know, that's what Capricorn came here to do, some type of great work. And it can look in infinite different types of ways. So you have to figure out what that means for you. But the time that we're in, it is a understanding of how far we've grown, and to tie it back to the Sabian symbols, and also with Neptune at the last degrees of Pisces before it then moves into Aries here soon in about a month. There's a lot of like pulling on these eternal truths, like connecting with something so deep and so ancient within us. You know, maybe you're having memories of past lives, maybe you're diving deeper into your psychic abilities, into intuitive gifts that we all have that are just, you know, kind of dormant until we activate them and cultivate them. Maybe you're going, you know, deeper into those types of things. The water is strong in the chart, and so is the earth energy, which is really beautiful for seeing the vision, receiving the messages, and then the earth energy to be able to follow through with it, to build here on earth. So yeah, again, to just kind of tie it all together, the Sabian symbol here that is helping us to connect with this ancient wisdom and to not be so attached, right, to the highs and the lows, the good, the bad, the whatever, the positive, negative experiences, like however the brain wants to label them, to not be so attached to it and to take it all as growth. And it's easy to say this, you know, when I'm not in the middle of it right now. But truly, if we could remember this, you know, if we could remember the eternal truth, and we could see all of the circumstances, the situations that enter into our life as something that is here to teach us and to connect us with this deep internal wisdom that we already have. You know, we've lived however many lives, like we have the information within us. We just have to slow down and access it and trust in our body. You know, this, again, the highest expression of that Cancer energy of being able to be with yourself, you know, to be with yourself. Like, people are scared to death to be alone with themselves. And Cancer is the first water sign in the zodiac, the first of the 3 water signs. And it is about raw emotion. It is the base. It is the root of our chart. It is the foundation of who we are. And if we are not okay sitting with ourselves, if we don't have the tools, we better learn them, because we have to be okay with our own company. We have to be okay with all of our shadows and sins sit there with them and have a fucking tea party for them and welcome them all to the table, invite all of them in, because if we're not aware of them, then they can wreak havoc on us. And so this Cancer primal energy, it's raw emotion. It's allowing yourself to feel whatever is coming up without judgment and with total acceptance. Highest expression of the Cancer energy. And so I hope this is helpful. Happy full moon. I have 2 seconds left.